Welcome to the Transform Sales Podcast, where forward-thinking business leaders come to share their experiences and ideas, learn from each other, and amplify their results together.
Hey guys, what's up? Amir Ryder here for another episode of the Transform Sales Podcast, our software seller demo review series. I got my guest today, Dean Shapiro, CEO of FlyTech. Dean, what's up, man? How are you?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, my pleasure. I appreciate you connecting with me pretty quickly, figure out what we're doing, and then jumping on. And I definitely appreciate what you built because it makes a lot of sense to me, and I'm sure it'll make a lot of sense to the audience. But let's just jump right into it. Talk to me about your product. What's the software product that you built? And yeah, tell us a little bit about it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So our software is called FlyTech, hence, our company's name as well. And what our software is able to do is we're able to identify the specific leads clicking your ads, social media ads, video, YouTube, etc.
So this is something that people couldn't do before too, right? So just to jump into question number two, there's a lot of tools out there that help people with digital ads. You can run them natively, right? You could use one of our partners that's also in the marketplace, Metadata, which I use. But then you're actually going a step further and saying who are actually clicking these ads, right? So that you can take other actions to them besides just marketing, right?
Yeah, exactly. So sort of the motivation for this is as actually sales led, even though this sits on the marketing advertising stack. Our thesis was that as a lot of your followers probably are well aware of, there's just so much generic, cold outbound, non-personalized content, email, LinkedIn, phone calls, etc. We were thinking, how can we help our clients do a better job personalizing that outreach? So what we landed on in a phenomenal way that we couldn't find anything that did this. We wanted to just use it ourselves. We ran a growth marketing agency before. We couldn't find something that could do this, so we built it. And the what it actually does is lets you see who specifically is clicking what ads and what content they're reading about when they arrive on your landing page. And that way your sales team can personalize outreach to them based on the content that they're engaging with. If you have a marketing team, you could drop them into a personalized email drip, cater to the content they actually care about and they actually are reading about.
It probably also helps people make money when it comes to products or services that have a big ACV, right? I would imagine that if you have a product that, let's call it, costs $50 a month, it might be less applicable. But once you start getting into a higher average contract value, I feel like that's when a phone call could be the difference between a $10 million client and not a $10 million client.
Exactly. Yeah. If you have a sales led motion, I would say the majority of our clients are in enterprise sales cycles or mid market, where a demo, usually multiple demos, are a part of their sales motion. Could this work for PLG software companies? It could in theory, but that's not where we see the primary use case. The best use case is saying, I have a key account list or I have a very defined market I'm trying to chase down, I'm trying to work. What do my decision makers actually care about? What features do they want to hear about from us? What case studies are they actually clicking on and reading? And what videos are they watching? Once you understand what your prospect actually cares about, that's a much better conversation you're going to have with them. And there's tons of stats out there that already, everyone's done it, that shows how much more effective personalized outreach is versus spray and pray, generic messaging.
Oh yeah, and I'm engaging with a lot of links, and I don't get any calls. And if they did, they probably would close me a lot faster because I get busy, right? So I think it's also like we forget to say the fact that like sometimes people that have a pain point, have a budget, have a need, have authority for your product, they're busy, and sometimes that sales activity you get that's personalized will get them to prioritize something, right? Like I've had people chasing me for 6 months. I love their product, but like they're wondering why I don't buy from them. And it's like, I'm just too busy. It's not even like your product or anything,
Yeah, and we've seen a really strong use case for our software being that we'll take, or our clients will take the data that we have on that ad engagement, who's clicking, who's viewing your videos, and then they'll take those engaged leads and drop them into a nurture series, an email drip that's highly personalized to the content they were clicking on or viewing, the specific ad, value props, and why that sort of flow works quite well is that your lead might not be ready to buy today, but they've almost raised their hand and said, I'm intrigued. This is worth my attention. This is worth me clicking on. This is worth me, interrupting my day on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn and actually clicking on this ad to see what this is all about. So maybe they're not ready to buy at this moment, but now you can put them in a highly personalized email drip series about that content they clicked on, keep them warm. And then if they open, 4 or 5 emails in a row, then sales team just gives them a call because that's a pretty high intent lead.
Yeah. I want you to answer the question that's on this, but before I say that, I'll make a statement. You're also breaking down the barriers between sales and marketing and focusing on a revenue team, because a revenue team would operate with one motion, where a digital ad, an email newsletter would be known by the salesperson and they would be able to say the same message. And to me, it also sounds like you're a middleware in between marketing and sales, kind of solidifying revenue. And I hate putting words in your mouth. I'm a revenue junkie. So
No, I couldn't have said it better myself. You nailed it. Sort of our more macro vision for where we sit in an organization is helping to transform what we think are two very broken systems, which is marketing over here, sales over here. We are very passionate.
Because it's called marketing and sales.
Exactly. This should be one revenue team. And that's where we really sit. We work, to your point of who's your ideal customer, to your question of who's your ideal customer. If you have a revenue mindset, a revenue team mindset where marketing and sales are not disparate organizations, but come together in one sort of user journey motion, that's our best customer.
Yeah. You're saying it nicely. I would say if you want a chance at succeeding in the year 2023 and 2024, you don't have many options, right? But you get to be nice and I get to be more direct. So that's
to be the passive guest. Yes, exactly.
I would be like, no. If you want a chance of succeeding, this is the only path forward, because this is the truth, right? Everything else is going to be inefficient, too expensive, no ROI. And with the market we're getting into, we're not going back to those crazy 1% interest, no interest. Those days are gone, right? So, for me, you're not only solidifying the revenue department, but you're also kind of focusing people on the bottom line and efficiency.
Yeah,
Talk to me about your ideal customer. Is that, and let's remember this, right? I think one of the things that people need to understand about cloud test in the marketplace is that what we try to do is really talk about that 80-20 rule for everybody. So I think when I ask you these questions and I try to peg you into an answer, for anybody listening, it is not trying to exclude anybody, right? It's not trying to be exclusive. So saying you help this the best doesn't mean you help that the worst. But this is an interesting question, because frankly, it's hard to answer when you get pegged, and I'm going to peg you. Let's just make you had a choice. Software company or service company, you can only pick one. Who's your best client?
We do work with both, but software is the majority of our client base.
Awesome. Startup, funded, private equity, or does it not matter? What matters more, the state of the company or
the state? Usually work best when they're in that growth stage period. Usually they're hiring their first handful of BDRs or SDRs or someone to actually facilitate that sales-led motion outside of the founder themselves. That's typically when we come in, because we can create a really strong warm lead list for them.
Because you're creating an efficiency and a better chance for the SDRs to have an ROI. And I hate putting words in your mouth, but that makes a lot of sense to me. So it's a software company. It's a company that just started with an SDR team, and you have an opportunity to take that SDR team and set it up for success from the beginning, right? Because all these KPIs are BS unless they're hittable, right?
We'll keep that sales team very busy with hot, engaged leads that they can prospect. If they have a marketer on the team, that's even better, because there's someone who knows how to set up the integration quite well, but not necessary.
Cool. What about ad spend? Is there like a certain client that, like, if they spend $10,000 or more, they're a better fit? Does that really matter? What's that 80-20?
That's the beauty of this line of thinking of revenue and not performance marketing, because we have people selling, I kid you not, enterprise package deals. We're getting great lead volume by running $30, $40 a day. That's it. Yeah. It doesn't require, and even less, I've seen clients do quite well with. It doesn't require a ton of budget, because you're not trying to spend tons of cash to boil the ocean. And hopefully if someone, books a demo with you, you start off through our platform, you target only the leads that you care about. So we'll send those to your ad platform, whatever ad platform you want to use. You target just those individuals. We let you know who clicks, and you can get good click data from your, target account list on $20, $30, $40 a day.
I'm running ads, and I'm going to ask to use your product, and I'm going to create some content on it.
We'll get you on.
this is all contingent on me getting time because I just like I end up wanting to do all these things and then like a year flies by and I just become old.
Well, the beauty is you set it up once and it operates in the background.
I'm running ads right now on LinkedIn to remote candidate spotlights, right? And like I want to know who's clicking it. I don't have that visibility.
Yes, let's get that click.
Yeah, I know that they landed on the website page. I know if they convert. I know my click-through rates. But you're right. And so it's also like I have the will. I have the will and the skill and the tools to talk to them deeper. Yeah. What I don't have is their name and of who they are. Even if I have their name, I can enrich them with Apollo. I got things. So we'll work it out later. I don't want to make this about me. I tend to do that. How would users measure success with your product? And then after that, we're going to get right into things.
Yeah. So the most direct answer is obviously how many leads we're able to identify that are clicking your ads. The way we're very unit economic driven. So if you are a organization that really understands your own unit economics, you back into, hey, I'm getting a lead, a marketing lead, or maybe a marketing qualified lead. You usually qualify this, for $10, $20, $30, that's usually extremely attractive to an organization. So that's the most immediate sort of value exchange you'll see with their platform. The more second order effect is obviously in open rates on any email drip you send these leads into, because you could personalize them quite well, and any success in getting that meeting booked from your SDR team by working these leads based on what they actually want to be hearing from your team.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like for me, I think also you probably start seeing the you could probably also seeing SDRs hitting their quota as being part of the success as well, because it's like really fusing marketing and sales, taking down that line, and also you're attacking a like sales SDRs don't have clear ROIs, and like this is an answer for it. And now it might not be your main message, but it might be a message that that it hits us because we have a huge marketplace of SDRs. If they get fired, it's no good for us, right? So we want them getting paid. We want them sticking. What about a quick demo? Are you comfortable sharing your screen and walking us through high level general stuff? You can go deep if you want to, but
share screen. We put a nice little UI together for people to look at, but the beauty of it is you shouldn't ever really need to deal with this, because we pump all the data we're getting into your CRM, HubSpot, Salesforce, wherever you want it to go, it lives in your system. So I think great software is ones you don't really have to log into very much, because it just expedites what you do. That's the beauty of how we built this. But to give you something pretty to look at, we obviously have full reporting here as well, which shows you a roll up of the companies. If you have a target account list, this is quite useful. Who are visiting or clicking your ads, how many people at those respective companies are clicking your ads. And then we give you the actual prospect level, these specific people who are clicking your ads and what pages they clicked on. It's also customizable to the ad they clicked on, whatever sort of content pillar you care about. And then we show you everyone who has been included in your campaign, right? So we start off the targeting with just the prospects you care about. No one you don't want to work with will ever see your ad in the first place. We send you segmentation of just your key accounts or key prospects that you want to see your ads in the first place. And then we break that down to you by a channel, so you understand who's clicking where. So we show you, okay, here is who clicked on Facebook. Here's the other key metrics for your Facebook campaign, just so you have some idea of like what these prospects are actually doing on your site, LinkedIn, etc. And like I said before, it really works in any ad channel: YouTube, connected TV, LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads, Twitter, you name it. We can usually port data over for you to then target, and then for us to then identify.
It makes sense to me because I'm doing ads right now. So anybody listening, it really allows you to, first of all, target with your target account list, make sure that the ads are just running to your target account list. But then it's actually it's actually telling you who's engaging with those so that you can make decisions on whether or not to nurture them via email. So this can push into, you can have a workflow set up in HubSpot, right? That says, if this goes to this status, send them this thing, and it could automate everything. Now, if you're old school and you don't want it automated, it could just be a task for somebody to call.
Yeah.
Right. So the automation can be as little as just a reminder that like, hey, Sarcy Denny from this law practice engage with your ad. And then it knows what the ad is. So it could probably line up what kind of content or playbook, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
This makes sense. Like anybody listening to me, and I'll I like to focus on your 80-20 rule. This is a no-brainer for anybody with the $50,000 ACV or higher, right? Because in my opinion, and like I said, I don't want to be exclusive. The higher the ACV, the more all of a sudden, like the ROI is just super easy. And those
Exactly.
tend to be the people that need more work. So it's an irony.
You have
It's
a
like,
contract cycle that needs or that warrants you spending real time personalizing and not just mass blasting. In my unbiased opinion, of course, this is a no brainer product because it's just going to give you so much intel on how to personalize your outreach for every account, every prospect, everyone you want to be doing business with.
yeah, it's tying marketing and sales together. It's that like it's like the you're like cerebral cortex. It's between both brains, right? It really it's both an analogy, but guess what it is, right? It's basically communicating in real time because you don't need to communicate a sign up or a demo, right? Like we got that covered, right? But between that sign up and that demo, there could and is most likely millions of dollars of potential revenue that your competitor will get to first and lock into a 2-year contract, and then you're out, right?
Well, especially if they're clicking ads, they're probably in market. They're probably saying, I really am checking out
100%.
these types
They're
of
like
software.
me. They're too busy. I click everything and I like everything and I'm just too busy. And when people call me and they're like, hey, sorry to bother you, but I know that you probably were looking at this ad about XYZ and I thought I'd give you a call. Like, I'm going to listen to that call because it actually, it's true, right? Is
Yeah,
A.
exactly.
Yeah, and these are like I said before. Like I think from my understanding, like I love why you both fly. I told you too when we were talking. I was like, man, I'm doing some ads, and this would be awesome because I can. I want to set up for success. So anybody listening, I'm gonna twist Dean's arm to give me some access so I can record how we use it. That's one of the fun parts about having a marketplace. It's like just test driving stuff and giving product feedback, but really showing people how to use it. But for me, this is awesome because I'm a big believer in efficiency. So right now I'm all about a revenue team. I'm all about SDRs lives matter, but we got to set them up for success. You know what I mean? And I hate wasted ad budget and efficiency. I hate it. And it pains me knowing that it could be the right buyer, the right everything, but you just didn't make that call or that email. And we live in a competitive world. So anybody here listening, like if you really think that your products, if you have a home run, you probably don't need anything. You probably just need SEO and you're probably getting all your signups. So like anyone else who's in a competitive space, who's, your unique selling proposition is not extremely clear against the competitors, your only chance of winning is taking that extra step. It just really is, right? That's what other people are going to listen to. Yeah, Dean, this has been awesome. I appreciate this demo. We're gonna post this on YouTube and on our podcast channel. And anybody listening, if you want to learn more about FlyTech and how you guys can get an ROI on your digital marketing B2B lead gen, the link for FlyTech is in the comments here. Anyone else who's looking to just be part of your community, pick your brain, connect with you. I know you're a tech leader in New York City as a young guy. Anybody listening, if you want to expand your network, Dean's in the city. He's in good old NYC. Where can they find you? How can they reach out to you?
Yeah, feel free to message me or reach out to me or follow me on LinkedIn. I do a lot of posting there. If you find the ad tech, marketing tech ecosystem interesting, that's all I think about. So I'll probably give you some good, interesting data points. Dean,
you got a subscriber here, by the way, and I hope I counts.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. This has been awesome. Everybody, thank you for tuning in for the Transform Sales Podcast, our software demo series. Dean, I will let you go help people with their ROI. And I appreciate you being on, man.
Great time, my friend. Thanks for having me.